Hi, Clayton. My name is Tim. My question is with regards to duplex acquisitions. You had said with regards to single families, the most you would pay is 125,000. With regards to a duplex acquisition, where should the ceiling on the purchase price be? Should I just double it to 250K, or should I base the purchase on the duplex solely on percentages for gross ROI, net ROI, 1%, etc.? Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Well, you kind of answer your question right there towards the end. And, it really depends. I've said 125. I've actually said as high as 175,000 on single family homes. It depends on the range. And obviously it depends on the rent. It depends on the taxes. It depends on the area. It depends on the vacancy rate. So there's a lot that goes into that, but that's just like a rule of thumb. Once you start pushing past that number on a single family, chances are the rent to purchase price is not going to be there. It's not going to be commensurate with, we get a lot of California investors, right? Because to invest in California, you'd have to be crazy, right? So they invest out of California and they'll invest with us in Texas and places where we build our new construction properties. So a home that we are able to build for, $250,000 or something, you're in the same house in California would be like 1.2 million. And so the cost of that rent is never going to catch up to the cost of the house. It's just not going to make sense on a single family. So things to think about on the single family front. Yes, it all comes down to the numbers. Tim, though, to your question and answer about, you kind of answered it yourself on a duplex, the same thing's going to apply. It's going to come down to the ROI. And we have a whole video here on the channel about internal rate of return. So I will link that up in the description for you, the IRR. You just got to remember that if you've got a tenant in a property, two tenants in a property, cash flowing, a new construction property on top of that, where you're able to write off the purchase of that, the down payment, basically getting that back on your taxes, and you're able to cash flow above your expense level significantly, where that tenant is now building up the equity in that home for you. And so you're building equity on the backs of that tenant by them having a great place to live in an A-class school district. And it really just comes down to those numbers. It's just going to come down to that IRR. What does that look like on paper? And if you are just breaking even, now you have to remember the reason that duplexes right now are so special and single families is because the internal rate of return is fantastic. And on the commercial side, I'm talking like 6, 8, 10 units. A lot of my commercial investor friends over the past number of years have basically just been sitting on their hands. They can't find anything with the types of internal rate of return that you can get on those smaller multifamily properties. They're just not getting them because they've already been improved. The house, the apartment complex has already been improved upon. And so there's nowhere extra way for them to add value to increase rents. It's just not going to be there for them. So they're getting like a 2% return or 1% return or even breaking even. A lot of Chinese investors had been buying up those larger multifamilies because they didn't care that they weren't getting any kind of a return. They just wanted their money out of China. So when you saw people still buying these 50-unit apartment complexes, but they're literally getting a 0% return, it's like Chinese investors that just want a tax haven to get their money out of China. I don't want that. I want cash flow and I want a great return on my investment. And so to answer your question, yes, it comes down to those numbers. And I think once you start running those numbers and you understand the tax benefits and you also understand perhaps the cost segregation analysis that you're getting handed as a part of that purchase, and that you're able to then depreciate that asset much more quickly in that first year so that you're getting basically an infinite return on your investment, then it becomes a game changer. So yeah, I'd be happy to help you, Tim. Book a call with our team and we can go further with you at morrisinvest.com. If you'd like to ask a question here on the show, please go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. Click on the button and leave us like a 30-second voicemail question so we can answer it here. And if you would like to take the plunge and get your first real estate investment done for you, fully done for you, just go to our website at morrisinvest.com and click on the book a call button and jump on the phone with one of our team members. They'll walk you through exactly what we do, the funding options we have in place from our different banks that we work with, and show you the different new construction properties that hopefully would be right for you as an investment So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, everyone.